The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2, in conjunction with Colfax High School, presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN2 studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 3-6 Colfax Vikings, who are 1-2 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, are getting ready to take on the Augusta Beavers in a non-conference matchup. The Beavers currently have a 1-6 overall record and are 1-3 in the large Dairyland Conference. The Vikings are coming off an exciting 75-71 win over the high-octane Cochrane Fountain City Pirates on Tuesday, while the Beavers were defeated by the Chautauqua-Weyerhaeuser Bulldogs last night by the score of 56-37. Now, in tonight's edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Augusta Beavers and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll take a look around the Dunn St. Croix Conference and see where things are standing, and then our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready!
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
Helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's non-conference clash between the Augusta Beavers and the Colfax Vikings. The 3-6 Vikings are hoping to head into the holiday break on a winning streak following their 75-71 win over the Cochrane Fountain City Pirates on Tuesday. The Beavers are looking to take a positive step into the holidays with the hopes of turning their season around. Now, in the Vikings' victory over Cochrane Fountain City, the Vikings were led in scoring by 5'7" senior Elijah Ensminger, who set a season high by hitting 12 field goals, including a three-pointer, and going 6 for 8 from the free throw line for 31 points. He was followed by 5'10" senior Mason Yarrington, who also set a season high by canning 5 three-pointers and going 2 for 2 from the charity stripe for 17 points. Aiden Fisher also hit double digits by scoring on 4 field goals, 2 of which were three-pointers, and shooting 2 for 2 from the line for 12 points. Eli Ralph helped seal the win with 6 timely second-half points. The Beavers are currently in 4th place in the large Dairyland Conference with a conference record of 1 win and 3 losses. And the Beavers are 1-6 overall and are coming off a 56-37 non-conference loss to the Chautauqua-Weyerhaeuser Bulldogs. We have extremely little information about the Beavers aside from their roster. However, the Beavers met the Vikings just over a year ago, and the Vikings came out on top 83-49. Returning players from that game who had an impact include 5'9" senior Cashton Leslin, who put up 8 points, and 6'1" senior Kenny Kloss, who added 6. Now, thus far this season, the Vikings are being led in scoring by Ensminger, who's coming off his 31-point performance on Tuesday, averaging nearly 17 points per game. Aiden Fisher is also scoring in the double digits with an average of over 13 points per game. Eli Ralph and Mason Yarrington are also contributing right around 6.5 points per game each. Now, leading the way rebounding for the Vikings are Ralph and Fisher, who are grabbing 5.5 boards per game each, with Orion Nichols pulling down nearly 5. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
Here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood. Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, but they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with Viking boys head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. And Coach, on Tuesday, the Vikings unleashed their offense and swashbuckled the Cochran Fountain City Pirates 75-71. What can you tell us about that game?
Well, obviously, like you just said, it was a high-scoring game. You know, when you score 75 points and you give up 71 points, that's a lot of points. 146 points is a lot. And I was happy for the boys to get their win. I was happy for them to play up to what they're capable of. And we had two boys that had career nights that night. Elijah Insminger had 31 points, which is a career high, and Mason Yerington had a career high at 17 points.
You know, in that game, even though the score didn't show it, the Viking defense played strong, and then in addition, the transition game seemed to be working in both directions, either transitioning to defense or transitioning to offense. Can you explain how, when this happens, those things all work together like that, good things often result?
Well, what we're starting to see is these kids are starting to know where each other are on the court, where they're supposed to be, and they're doing a great job of running their lanes. You know, for our team is doing a great job of running their lanes, and we're doing a good job of advancing the ball as well, which that's a huge part of transition, right, is giving the ball up to someone else that's opened up the court. So we're starting to see that, and you have to have your head up when you're dribbling to be able to see those things. And so it's nice to see it. We're doing that, and we practice where we do a lot of advantage stuff where we're in a 2-on-1 advantage, 3-on-2, 4-on-3. So we practice those situations quite a bit, so you hope that we can be successful when we get them in a game.
Now tonight, the Vikings are going to compete in more non-conference play to take them into the holidays when they face the Augusta Beavers. What can you tell us about the Beavers?
Well, the Beavers are going to be a scrappy team is probably the best way to put it. They're scrappy. They're going to be probably a physical team in the fact that they're going to play really hard for the entire game. That's kind of what I expect from them. I feel like our skill level is going to be higher than theirs, but that is what it is. That's, you know, sometimes other teams, their skill level has been higher than ours. So we have to play to our level of play, and that's what I'm going to be trying to stress with our team. And tonight in the game is that we play at our level.
Now, last season, the Vikings pretty much had their way with the Beavers. Can you tell us how these two teams are different from what they were a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, they have graduated a couple players. They graduated their two best players from last year. So they're going to have new kids that are in new roles, right? So just like our team, we have a new team this year. They have a new team this year. So you have kids that are going to step up. And sometimes when you have a team like ours and or Augusta where you have new kids in those roles, sometimes it takes, you know, a third of the season for them to have a breakout game, kind of like Mason Yerington did in our last game. Sometimes it takes a while for those kids to get comfortable. And I think we're starting to, you know, I think with Augusta, they have some kids that are capable. We just have to make sure it doesn't happen against us.
Well, Coach Noel, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings will head off into the holidays with a winning note.
Thank you very much. Go Vikings. Merry Christmas.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. Tonight, the Dunn St. Croix Conference is taking a break from conference play for the holidays. So let's take a look at what's happening in the conference race as we head into the holidays. Last Monday, the Durand, Arkansas Panthers were defeated by the Prescott Cardinals 60-35, while the Amory Warriors knocked off the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 71-48. Then on Tuesday, we found the Vikings topping the Cochran Fountain City Pirates 75-71. Then last night, the Spring Valley Cardinals defeated the Somerset Spartans 73-70, while the Glenwood City Hilltoppers were topped by the Ellsworth Panthers 55-49, while the Mondovi Buffaloes and the Whitehall Norse faced off, with the Norse coming out on top 63-37. So that leaves the Dunn St. Croix Conference standings as follows. Tied for first place with 3-0 records are the Durand, Arkansas Panthers and the Spring Valley Cardinals. Tied for third place at 2-1 and one game behind are the Elk Mound Mounders and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. At 1-2 and tied for fifth place, 2 games behind the leaders, are the Colfax Vikings along with the Mondovi Buffaloes. And in a tie for 7th place at 0-3, 3 games out, are the Boyceville Bulldogs and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Tonight, the Vikings are one of 3 Dunn St. Croix teams in non-conference action. While the Vikings are getting ready to take on the Augusta Beavers, we find the Elk Mound Mounders taking on the Gale Ettrick Trempealeau Redhawks, and the Durand, Arkansas Panthers are facing the Altoona Railroaders. Tonight's Vikings versus Beavers game will be a good opportunity for the Vikings to head into the holidays on a high note. So far this year, Augusta is averaging 41 points per game while giving up 63. On the other hand, the Vikings are averaging 52 while giving up 68. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Now, in just a moment, we'll send it out to our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we'll bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Augusta Beavers. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay. Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Viking Boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned, coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
We've given back in a lot of different ways through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.danakelly.com.
Colfax Viking Boys Basketball is on the air.
He'll pass it out to Blake Johnson. He'll take the shot for 3. Vikings.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN2, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Boys Basketball.
Springer down inside to Hoffman. He'll drive the right side of the lane, pop it up from 6. Good.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dunn St. Croix Conference.
Charlo out to Ensminger for 3. He hits it!
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
And good evening and welcome to Colfax High School, where it's Parents' Night for the Viking boys. It was Parents' Night for the girls last night, and for the boys tonight. Hopefully the boys have a little better result in their game than the girls had last night, although they played hard. Rick Olson with you, along with Ann Monroe on the camera, and we have a special guest statistician, at least for a little bit tonight. David Shipman's volunteering to help us out, and we're waiting for our regular boys play-by-play guy. Jay Fall is going to be here eventually. He's busily running some errands and taking care of some things in the Eau Claire area, and he's going to get here as soon as he can. And our partner Dan is kind of laid up with what appears to be COVID-19. So we wish him the best. At least after tonight's game, we get a little bit of a break, and hopefully he can get well during that period of time. And our regular camera guy just had surgery on his neck. So we're a kind of mobile hospital unit here right now, but we're going to have Christmas break to get it over with, and Santa Claus is going to give us a gift of healthy broadcasters for you to bring you the rest of the Colfax Viking basketball season. So things are running a little bit behind schedule with the basketball, as the teams have just taken the court for warm-ups. We don't have hardly any information on the Augusta Beavers. Very little was available through the normal information sources, and so we'll just have to go from there. Taking a quick look at the starting lineups for tonight's game for the Augusta Beavers. At guard, number 5'10" junior Noah Schrader. At guard, number 10, 5'9" senior Cashton Leslin. At guard, 6'1" senior, number 11, Kenny Kloss. At forward, 6'1" junior, number 12, Bo Harmer. And at forward, 6' senior, number 22, Spencer Pilgrim. For the Vikings, a little bit of a change tonight. In a non-conference game, we're going to see at guard, 5'11" junior, number 4, Aiden Fisher. At guard, 5'10" senior, number 15, Mason Yarrington. At guard, 5'10" sophomore, number 20, Orion Nichols. At guard, 6' senior, number 23, Blake Johnson. And at forward, 6'3" senior, number 33, Eli Ralph. Taking a quick look at some of the statistics from the Vikings. The Vikings are currently being led in scoring by Elijah Ensminger, who is scoring just about 17 points per game. His season high was scored Tuesday night when he put 31 points on the board against Cochrane Fountain City. Then we have Aiden Fisher, who's averaging just over 13 points per game. He's shooting 35% from the floor and 77% from the free throw line. His season high is 20 points. Mason Yarrington is turning into the three-point specialist for the Vikings. He scored his season high on Tuesday with 17 points. He shoots just about 32% from three-point land. And he has made 17 out of 54 three-point attempts, and most of those have come on pretty much lately. Eli Ralph is 59% from the floor, and he's putting up about 6.5 points a game. On the boards, Eli Ralph and Aiden Fisher are both pulling down about 5.5 points per game. Ralph has 48 rebounds, as does Fisher. Fisher's are mostly defensive. Ralph is split pretty much evenly. Ryan Nichols also has 41 rebounds per game, or rebounds period per game. That'd be a pretty good trick. Leading the Vikings in steals is Ensminger with 15. Aiden Fisher also has 15. And Mason Yarrington has 8, as does Orion Nichols. Blake Johnson has 7. Blake Johnson picked up 3 of those 7 on Tuesday. In the first half, it was just all of a sudden bing, bing, bing. Every time Cochran Fountain City tried to bring it down the floor, Blake Johnson got his hands in there, and all of a sudden the ball was going back the other way. The assist leader for the Vikings is Aiden Fisher with 29, and he's also got about 3.5 assists per game. And the foul leader is Eli Ralph. Well, actually, no, Aiden Fisher has 25 fouls this season. Eli Ralph has 23. The rest of the Vikings pretty much stay out of foul trouble. So we've got a little bit of time before this one gets started, so we're going to take a bit of a timeout as you're tuned to Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 are excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School Boys Basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Tuesday, January 2nd, when the Vikings will host the Turtle Lake Lakers. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking Pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 on Tuesday, January 2nd.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Austin and Nikki Pritchard are just what the doctor ordered. In fact, they are the doctors and they're ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV is excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season. Our next game will be on Tuesday, January 2nd, when the Vikings will travel to St. Croix Central High School to take on the St. Croix Central Panthers. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking Pregame at 6:30 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 on Tuesday, January 2nd.
Hi, I'm Crystal, one of Santa's elves. Santa wanted to talk with you about a special program coming up on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. But as you can see, he's pretty busy right now, so we better not disturb him. So I'll tell you what's up. A little earlier, Santa and I got together and picked out some of the very best holiday-themed old-time radio programs, and we're going to present them to you during Santa's flight on Christmas Eve. So tune in to the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service, or NLWN TV, while Santa and I bring you the best in old-time radio. It all starts at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I'll see you then.
And we're back here at, let's try that button. That one works better. Back here at Colfax High School as we're getting ready to bring you the Colfax Vikings taking on the Augusta Beavers in boys high school basketball action. As I said, we're waiting. Hopefully Jay Fall may actually get here before the start of the game, with the game being a little bit late getting started. I think what happened, normally, like they did last night, as soon as the junior varsity game is over, they do the parents' recognition, and it took a little while to do that tonight because I think maybe the C team was in the midst of getting ready for the game. And lo and behold, who joins right next to me but Jay Fall? And Jay is probably trying to see if that was him he passed on the highway, because he's been running all over the place just trying to get here. And so, Jay, welcome into the booth.
Thanks, Rick. Yeah, it's a little foggy out there.
That's what I was suspecting when I came over a little earlier. It wasn't quite dark, but it sure looked like it was going to try and get foggy.
Yep, and then one of the Woodland friends there was near the intersection of 40 and B, so slowed down a little bit. But yeah, this is going to be another good non-conference tilt for the Vikings tonight. As they played very well against Cochran Pound City on Tuesday, coming into this one.
That was a lot of fun to watch that game with all the, it was up and down the floor, and a lot of excitement happening. And hopefully we can get a repeat performance of that tonight.
Yeah, that would be good. The Colfax boys adding some improvement every time they have an outing, and so hopefully that will continue tonight, as this is their final game before the holiday break.
We're going to see an interesting version of the Vikings tonight, because it'll be Elijah Ensminger less. So no Elijah tonight. And if we look back on Tuesday, that takes 31 points out of the lineup. So that's a pretty significant cutback for the Vikings. But, when things like that happen, it's next man up. And Orion Nichols is going to be starting in place of Elijah. And Orion is showing time and again that he's ready to meet that challenge and go out and make things happen on the floor.
Yeah, it's good that there are, the program's building underclassmen that can come up, step in, and, do the job for the Vikings. And we'll be finding that out in just a few minutes.
Yeah, in fact, Coach Noel is giving some last-minute tips and pointers to Orion Nichols down on the floor. And so we'll see how that goes, whether that takes hold or not. But I'll tell you what, we're going to take one more time out before we get ready for tonight's game. So you're tuned to Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub. If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, Let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour. What do you think?
You got jokes. You're funny.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Whoop, hang on a second. I got helps if I push that button, Jay.
All right, good. Tonight's Colfax Viking Boys Basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. At Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their friendly staff take care of your pet. C&K Construction, your concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical with quality, personalized care for you and your family. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. We ask you to thank these fine sponsors by doing business with them soon. And of course, Christmas just a few days away. Be sure to make your plans to tune in to either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV for our Christmas gift to you 2023. We'll bring you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's Christmas Eve beginning at 7 p.m. on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
And speaking of thanking those sponsors, we also want to thank all the parents who's helped bring us Colfax Viking, both boys and girls basketball. I especially want to thank David Shipman for being willing to sit in until Jay was able to get here. And so thank you, David, even though you really didn't have to do much of anything, but it put my mind at ease to know that somebody was going to keep our numbers. And so hopefully we'll keep everything straight.
Yeah, so tip-off just a few minutes away here, and we'll have the playing of our national anthem. We'll go to we'll go courtside for that, and then we'll get the starting lineups.
Would everyone please stand at the table, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart to honor the flag as the national anthem is played. for tonight's non-conference boys basketball matchup between the Augusta Beavers and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Beavers. Number 5, a junior, Noah Schroeder. Number 10, a senior, Ashton Leslin. Number 11, a senior, Penny Kloss. Number 12, a junior, Bo Harmer. And number 22, a senior, Spencer Pilgrim. The Beavers are led by head coach Byron King. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings. At guard, 6-foot junior number 4, David Fisher. At guard, 6-foot senior number 15, Mason Harrington. At guard, 5'11" sophomore number 20, Ryan Nichols. At forward, 6-foot senior number 23, Blake Johnson. And forward, 6'3" senior number 33, Eli Ralph. Vikings are led by head coach Mark Ball. Tonight, Colfax High School junior Theo Hutley would like to remind coaches, players, and fans what it means to be a good sport.
At Colfax High School, sportsmanship is an expectation, so please let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate, and let the spectators be positive.
So we're set to go here at Colfax. Augusta is in purple with white numerals and trim. They're going to be moving from right to left as we look on. The Vikings in home white with red numerals and trim. And the tip goes back to Aiden Fisher, and the Vikings will start out with a first chance to score. Knocked away by Augusta. Schroeder going down toward the basket. Shot doesn't go. Rebounded by Orion Nichols. Nichols up to Fisher. Fisher on the right wing drives in toward the lane, and Blake Johnson very close to the end line, but he manages to walk inside it. Yarrington out to Fisher, back to Yarrington. And they toss it inside to Orion Nichols, going for the layup, too far under. Reload by Eli Ralph. And the Vikings score first, 2-0, 17-20 to go in the first half. And the ball stolen away by the Vikings, Aiden Fisher. Augusta's got to get back quick. They get it inside, off the glass, in and out for Orion Nichols. And fighting for the rebound, coming up with it is Fisher. Out to Ralph Yarrington for 3. Bounces up tall, and it's going to be Kenny Kloss coming up with the rebound for the Beavers. Kloss doubled up on. He'll toss it over to Leslin on the far side right wing. Back up on top to Kloss. Kloss back to Leslin. Down inside, turnaround jumper off the glass. That's Spencer Pilgrim for Augusta's first 2 points. 16:28 remaining. First half, we're tied at 2. Free throw line right, it's Fisher. Fisher down on the baseline to Ralph. Back up to Fisher to Blake Johnson. Yarrington, free throw line left. Augusta, playing a 2-3 zone right now to the free throw line. Nichols up and in. Colfax up 4-2 over Augusta, approaching the 16-minute mark remaining here in the first half. And the pass goes to the feet of Bo Harmer, and he's having trouble handling. It's going to be a jump ball, and it is possession Augusta.
It hardly seems fair when you're trying to grab the ball and there's 6 arms, all of them the wrong color, down there between your 2 legs.
Causes some confusion, that's for sure. Kenny Kloss back out to Leslin. Inside to Spencer Pilgrim, and the ball gets away from him. Colfax will bring it back up the floor. It's Fisher. Fisher to Nichols. Nichols off the glass and good. Colfax up 6-2, approaching 15.5 minutes remaining. And ball goes to Kenny Kloss. He stops at the top of the key. Turns and gives it back to Cashton Leslin. Harmer at the free throw line, then outside to Noah Schroeder, and he puts it in for 3, and it's a 1-point ball game. 6-5 Colfax up on top of Augusta. Pass inside goes to Nichols, and we're going to have a 3-second violation.
Ryan Nichols got kind of stuck in the lane and had nowhere to go, and all of a sudden he was there a little longer than he should have been.
Full court pressure by the Vikings. Augusta breaks it. It's Noah Schroeder passing it off on the left side to Bo Harmer, and the shot doesn't go. Bringing it in is Fisher, and Fisher driving in. He is going to draw a foul. And that's going to go against Bo Harmer. That's the first foul of the game. So it's 2 free throws for Aiden Fisher. 14:54 left first half. Colfax now up by 2, 7-5 on this. The first free throw is good. And second one, Fisher goes up and puts it in. 8-5 Vikings. Schroeder along the sidelines and having trouble moving it as Harmer, and they try to get it down inside to Kenny Kloss. We're going to have a foul charge to the Vikings. That's going to be on number 20, Ryan Nichols, and that's the first Colfax foul. Throwing it in will be Spencer Pilgrim for Augusta. Pilgrim into Cashton Leslin. He'll put in the layup on the right side. And it's 8-7 Colfax leading Augusta, 14:40 remaining in the first half. Give and go off to Mason Yarrington. Yarrington to Blake Johnson for 3.
Johnson has started to get hot from three-point land the last few games.
Noah Schroeder driving up the floor for the Beavers, and he's tripped up.
I think that's going to be a foul on Aiden Fisher. It is. It's his second team foul on the Vikings.
Augusta puts it into the far corner. Cashton Leslin goes to get it, then back outside to Kenny Kloss, and he'll hit the 3 ball. And Augusta closes the gap to 11-10, 14-10 to go. Mason Yarrington, 3 from the near side.
That's all Mason Yarrington shoots and scores on are three-pointers.
Cashton Leslin back over to Kenny Kloss. Rebounded by Fisher. Fisher down along the lane goes to Johnson. Shot missed.
Turnaround jumper in the lane, and it goes in by Bo Harmer.
Vikings bring it up the floor. That's Johnson out near the center jump circle. Augusta still working the 2-3. Up on top it goes to Johnson. Bounced inside to Logan Schwartz. Turnaround jumper goes over the top, rebounded by Spencer Pilgrim of the Beavers. Augusta up the floor. Kloss goes all the way in the far corner to Noah Schroeder. Back out on the wing to Harmer. Back in the lane to Harmer. He's been in there a bit. Now he gets out. And we're going to have a foul charge to the Vikings, Blake Johnson. That is Johnson's first foul. That's the third charge to Colfax. 12:53 remaining first half. It's Colfax 14, Augusta 12.
Theo Hovde into the Viking lineup for Blake Johnson.
Inbounds throw goes to Kenny Kloss. Doubled up. He'll go to Leslin with the pass on the near wing. And it's taken away by Nate Edwards. Over to Mason Yarrington. 3-point attempt. Hits the rim, bounces out, but the reload back up by Aiden Fisher. And he's fouled on the way up. And since he was shooting, he's going to the free throw line for 2. That foul charge to Spencer Pilgrim. That's his first for Augusta. And the first free throw is good for Fisher. 12:35 remaining first half, 15-12. Colfax with the lead.
Fisher now 4 for 4 from the line. Beavers have it out between the circles to the free throw line. Jump shot is good by Bo Harmer.
Colfax bringing it back. It's Fisher. Fisher to Yarrington, free throw line right. Back up to Fisher, back to Yarrington, near corner. Bounces out, tip to Noah Schroeder. Schroeder around his back, or behind his back pass to Kenny Kloss. He's open toward the bucket, but tosses it way up on top. Now back up the floor to Yarrington. Yarrington going to keep it out high on the right wing. Inside goes to Schwartz. Back to Yarrington, three-point attempt, good! 19-14 Vikings.
6 points tonight for Mason Yarrington, both on a couple of threes.
Schroeder straddling the half-court line, fires it to Harmer. Back out on the right side to Kloss, back to Harmer. Harmer from the free throw line. Shot doesn't go, rebounded by Eli Ralph. Driving now, layup is good by Aiden Fisher, and he draws a foul on the way in. That foul's going to be charged to Bo Harmer of the Beavers. That's his second and Augusta's third foul. Colfax leading Augusta 21-14.
Both teams with 3 fouls.
First free throw, only free throw. No good. Rebound pulled out of there by Schwartz. Out to Mason Yarrington. Back into Schwartz. A little ball handling trouble. Back out to Mason. 3-point attempt. Hits the rim, rolls out. Rebounded by Cashton Leslin. And a timeout called by Augusta. 11:08 remaining. First half, Colfax 21, Augusta 14. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Join NLWN TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024, as the Viking girls will travel to Hammond to take on the St. Croix Central Panthers in a non-conference tilt to begin the new year. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning at 6:30 p.m., and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax girls basketball on Tuesday, January 22nd on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
That's hard to believe. Last game of the calendar year right here for us.
Driving in for Augusta, or the pass goes out on the far corner to Owen Lee now in the game to Kenny Kloss at the free throw line. Shot missed. Rebounded by Orion Nichols up the floor to Yarrington. Yarrington will toss it back to Blake Johnson. Back to Yarrington. Inside to Schwartz. Back out in the opposite corner. Top of the key to Johnson, and left open with a great shot, Orion Nichols on the left side. 23-14 Colfax.
That's 6 points for Nichols.
Augusta trying to move that ball. Kloss outside to Brian Butke now in the ball game. Out to Noah Schroeder. Takes a 3-point attempt, bounces off, rebounded by Nichols. Now up the floor to Yarrington, down underneath to Schwartz. Good for a bucket. 10 minutes left first half. Colfax by 11 over Augusta, 25-14. Into Kenny Kloss, and he tries to fire it over to Noah Schroeder over the top of him. Goes out of bounds. Colfax will take it back.
Looked like he didn't adjust the windage on his scope there. Just a bit wide. Or as Euchre would say, just a bit outside.
Yeah. Blake Johnson to Theo Hubby now in the ball game. Theo, a 5'6" junior guard. Out to Yarrington, back to Hubby. Hubby goes back in the lane to Nichols. Nichols up from 8, good. 27-14 Vikings, 9.5 minutes left first half. Bryce Butke to Harmer. Now from the far corner, three-point attempt. Owen Lee, no good. Reload by Spencer Pilgrim. That ball knocked down and stolen by the Vikings. Now Nichols drives in, up on top, and Nichols will get it back on the left side for a bucket.
That's 10 points tonight for Orion Nichols.
From the free throw line, it's Harmer. He'll get it back from Butke. Out to Leslin. Leslin back to Butke. Dumps it off down to Harmer. And shot goes up, doesn't go in. It's right there for the rebound. Blake Johnson for the Vikings. Johnson dishes it off to the free throw line to Orion Nichols. Shot won't go, and the rebound by Spencer Pilgrim of the Beavers and Augusta.
Of course, that one wasn't going to go. He was too open.
Yeah. Bryce Butke, three-point attempt missed, and Butke tries to save it from going out and catches the back of the backboard. It goes out of bounds and back to the Vikings. 8:20 remains in the first half. It's Colfax 29, Augusta 14. Hubdy across the timeline, fires off on the left wing to Fisher. Back to Hubdy down in the far corner. Hubdy and Fisher back and forth with it. Underneath it goes to Nichols, and for three, Aiden Fisher. 32-14 Vikings.
It's 9 points for Fisher tonight.
And stolen back. Hubdy gets it to Yerington. Waits, goes off the glass, shot missed, but the reload back underneath. Eli Ralph goes up and fouled. And that foul's going to be charged to Owen Lee. He's a freshman guard for the Beavers.
First personal, fourth team foul on Augusta.
First free throw up and in for Eli Ralph. 7:41 remaining, first half. It's Colfax 33, Augusta 14. Eli Ralph with the next one. That one rolls around and out. Pulled down by Bo Harmer. Owen Lee will bring it up, and Augusta wants a full timeout. 7:36 remains. First half, it's Colfax 33, Augusta 14. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Join us on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2 on Tuesday, January 2nd, as the Viking boys will play host to the Turtle Lake Lakers in a non-conference matchup to open 2024. Viking pregame begins at 6:40 with live play-by-play to follow. That's Viking boys basketball, Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024 on NLWN 2. Augusta with the ball. It's Bo Harmer. Puts it up from the free throw line. Won't go, and it's rebounded by Blake Johnson of Colfax. Johnson out to Hubdy from three-point land. Aiden Fisher, free throw line extended left, and having some ball handling trouble. Augusta gets it down to Spencer Pilgrim. He'll put in a layup on the right side as he's open. Colfax by 20. We're inside 7 minutes left in the first half. Hubdy Back into Fisher, down underneath. It goes to Ralph. Ralph puts in a bucket. 38-16 Colfax. In the backcourt with it is Cashton Leslin. He gets it across the timeline to Harmer. Harmer puts it up from the free throw line, bangs around and in. 38-18, Colfax by 20. Mason Yarrington, free throw line right. Rolls it to Eli Ralph. And going in on the left side with a layup is Aiden Fisher. On a nice assist by Blake Johnson.
That's 14 points for Fisher tonight.
Owen Lee give and go out to Leslin. And the ball goes out of bounds off Colfax. Approaching 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Colfax with a 22-point lead, 40-18 over the Augusta Beavers. Inbounds it goes to Noah Schroeder. He's doubled up on, goes to Leslin. Leslin doubled, and he will go back to Schroeder. Then on the left side, it goes to Spencer Pilgrim. Rolls off, rebounded by Fisher. Fisher up the floor, over to Hovde for three, nails it. Colfax on fire so far, 43-18, leading Augusta. Harmer out to Schroeder, back to Harmer, and we are going to have a foul underneath. That's going to be charged to the Vikings.
Theo Hovde is quick and able to get around corners, but he couldn't quite navigate that one.
Throwing it in for Augusta, Kenny Kloss. Up on top to Schroeder. Back to the free throw line to Harmer. And from the baseline, it's Leslin, puts up a shot. Missed, going back to the Vikings. 5:22 left in the first half. The Colfax Viking boys lead the Augusta Beavers 43-18. Hovde finds Fisher. Fisher with a layup across. Colfax stretches their lead. Schroeder out to Leslin. Leslin for three. Bangs around, doesn't go, and the ball ripped out of there by Logan Schwartz. Now up the floor to Orion Nichols. He misses the shot, trying to get the rebound, and he's fouled underneath.
Foul is going to be on the floor. It was after the shot and before the putback attempt.
So the Vikings will have it underneath their own hoop. Orion Nichols is going to throw it in.
Cashton
On the left
Leslin
side. Yep.
is who the foul was called on.
And Fisher on the baseline. Fall away jumper doesn't go, and Harmer comes up with a rebound to Leslin. Leslin on the right side to Kloss. Back to Leslin. Leslin and Kloss on top, going to Harmer to the free throw line, then down underneath the Pilgrim. Turn around, up and in. Augusta closes the gap. It's still 45-20.
6 points for Pilgrim.
Up on top, Fisher. Fisher drives, waits, puts it up off the glass. Reload, good. Up the floor, Cashton Leslin for the Beavers.
Fisher about 5 points ahead of his season average for an entire game in just the first half. And that foul is on Logan Schwartz. His first 15 foul.
Augusta in underneath their own basket into Kloss. Then to Harmer, all the way across the floor to Lee. Back to Schroeder, and stealing that pass, Eli Rell. Taking up the floor, now it's stolen back by Owen Lee. And a one-handed pass to Kloss. He delays a bit before getting it. Then he gets it back in the front court. And we're going to have a foul called on Eli Ralph, and he knew it. He was over the back of Bo Harmer. 3:43 left first half, 47-20. Colfax leading Augusta. Beavers throw it in. It's a Harmer to Schroeder, and he walked. Traveling called.
One thing I've noticed the Vikings doing is they're double teaming the ball out high, which is causing a lot of confusion for Augusta.
They're also doing an excellent job underneath on the offensive boards. If the shot doesn't go in, they're in there to put it back up. And we're going to have a blocking foul charged to one of the Beavers.
And it's on Owen Lee. Yeah, it's his second, and he got up wondering what he had done. He kind of, what'd I do?
And Byron King's talking to the official over on the sideline about that. Getting the answer to that famous question. In the corner to Yarrington. Yarrington driving toward the top of the key, flips it back out to Fisher. Or Johnson, sorry. Inside, it goes to Ralph, back out to Johnson, and shot doesn't go. It's rebounded by Kloss. Kloss bounces it in to Bo Harmer. He'll put it up on the free throw line. Missed, rebounded by Aiden Fisher. Fisher taking it right up the floor, makes a nice move, and goes in on the left side for a layup. 49-20, Colfax leading Augusta, 2:53 remaining.
20 of those 49 are courtesy of Aiden Fisher.
Owen Lee from the corner misses the three. It's rebounded by Blake Johnson. Johnson across the timeline, goes out to Yarrington from the free throw line. Shot falls short, tipped around. Augusta gets the rebound back.
Fisher has equaled his season high. And again, we're still in the first half.
Kloss just hands it off to Harmer. Takes a free throw, missed. We're going to try it again, this time out to Bryce Butke from the corner of the lane. He drains it. 49-22, Colfax. Mason Yarrington down in the far corner. Passes it in to Eli Ralph down on the right side. It goes up and in for Ryan Nichols on the layup. And trying to dribble through a couple of Vikings is Kenny Kloss, and ball goes off one of the Colfax players. No, it goes off of Kloss. So Vikings are going to get the ball back after the official gets it out of the hallway.
Coming up at halftime, Viking profile will be Trey Larson. That's in a minute 54.
Colfax up 51-22 over Augusta. Aiden Fisher between the jump circle and the wheel. Fisher bounces it in to Ralph. Ralph will go in and pass out on the right corner to Ryan Nichols. He'll go up, but Ralph will get it, fire it back to Fisher. Out to Yarrington. Yarrington on the baseline, fires it back inside to Blake Johnson. He puts it up and in. Kenny Kloss out to Bryce Butke. That cross court to Kloss. Down in the far corner goes to Owen Lee. Lee into Noah Schroeder, puts it up and in. A minute left to go in the first half. Colfax leads Augusta 53-24. Fisher at the jump circle. Bounces it in to Ryan Nichols, and he'll go up off the glass, and it falls in for a pair. 55-24 Colfax. Bryce Butke out to Kenny Kloss. That foul's going to be charged to Eli Ralph of Colfax.
That's Eli's second foul, but it does put Augusta to the line in the bonus.
Logan Schwartz comes back in the game. So Augusta, free throw number one. That one is good. Augusta down by 30. Colfax leads 55-25, just under 35 seconds left in the first half. That one doesn't go. Reload on the rebound by Noah Schroeder is good. So Blake Johnson up top.
Give and go to Fisher. To Yarrington. Yarrington in the middle to Johnson. Johnson fires it in to Logan Schwartz. Out to Yarrington. Fisher up and no good. So at the end of the first half, the Colfax Vikings lead the Augusta Beavers in non-conference action by a score of 55-27. We invite you now to stay tuned for Viking halftime. That's coming your way next on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Time now for Viking halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
Me the bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Trey Larson, a freshman here at Colfax High School. And Trey, we know you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
I am. I do golf.
Okay, very good. You're looking forward to that one too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, besides that, it's better weather when the golf rolls around than it is through the winter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
Well, I started playing in 3rd grade, and as soon as I started, I loved it. I just kept working to get where I am today.
So what's the most important thing that you've learned so far in basketball?
Sportsmanship and teamwork. You always want to be a good sport and a good teammate.
Okay, so when not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I like to fish and hunt. I like to go up to my cabin, do a lot of stuff outdoors.
Okay, all right, just enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah.
All right. Rapid fire questions for you. You may have heard about these. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Which kind?
Mint chocolate chip.
Oh, okay. All right. Hot dogs, burger or brats?
Burger.
What do you want on that burger?
Just ketchup.
Just ketchup. Keep it simple.
Yep.
All right. Favorite color?
Red.
And is there a reason for that?
Not really, just one of my favorites.
And not because it's school color or anything?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Oh. All right. If you could have a superpower, what do you think it would be?
To fly.
Okay. So, Trey, if you have the ability to fly, you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Trey's superhero name?
Ice Tray.
Ice Tray. Okay, I used to have some of those. You had to pull the lever to get the cubes out. And okay. Favorite NBA team?
Bucks.
All right, how about a college team?
Badgers.
All right. Is there a basketball player who has influenced the way you play your game? That could be anybody from the pros on down.
Steph Curry and Johnny Davis when he was with the Badgers.
Okay, and is there something about their game that caught your fancy?
Just their ability to shoot and drive is kind of what I model after them.
Okay, now we're talking with Trey Larson today on Viking Profile. Trey, what are your plans for after high school? I know you're only a freshman, so there's a lot of chance to change this.
Yeah, I don't really know yet. I still have a lot of time.
You do, but you're going to be surprised how fast that goes. How about a shout out to the family?
Shout out Mom, Dad, Evie, grandparents Pa, Nana, and Grammy Nunti.
All right, when people watch Viking games, what position do you play? Where are we going to find you on the floor?
Usually point guard, shooting guard. If you see a 3 go up, it's probably me.
Okay, we want to thank Trey Larson for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Viking boys on a mission tonight. They're leading the Augusta Beavers 55-27. Rick, let's take a look at the numbers.
Okay, well, the Beavers are currently led by Noah Schrader, who has 7 points. He's followed by Bo Harmer and Spencer Pilgrim. They each have 6. Then Cashton Leslin has a couple points. Kenny Kloss has 4 points, and Bryce Butke has 2 points. For the Vikings, holy cow, Aiden Fisher, 20 points. Couple of threes, 4 for 4 from the line, gave him 20 points. Ryan Nichols hit 7 field goals. He has 14 points. Theo Hovde has 3. Mason Yarrington has 6 on a pair of three-pointers. Blake Johnson has 5 on a 3 and a 2. Eli Ralph has 5 on 2 field goals and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Logan Swartz has 2 points on a field goal. And that gives us 55-27 Vikings.
Be sure to make your plans to tune in to either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV for our Christmas gift to you 2023. We'll bring you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's Christmas Eve, Sunday night, beginning at 7 p.m. on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
I caught that, Jay. All you want for Christmas is your 2 front teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one I actually haven't heard yet this year.
Oh, so yeah, I don't think I have either. Well, there I started. Vikings back on the floor. And, of course, they'll be moving from right to left this time. So the Vikings lead the Augusta Beavers 55-27. We're underway in the second half. Inbound throw goes to Fisher. Fisher to Johnson to Yarrington. He'll flip it out to Fisher. Over on the far side. Down underneath it goes to Ralph. Back outside to the free throw line. It's Fisher. And he'll take it out to the corner. Driving in, Blake Johnson, and he traveled on the way in. Going back to the Beavers. As we mentioned, this is the last game of the calendar year. Both the boys and girls go back into action Tuesday, January 2nd. And shot goes up by Bo Harmer, and the reload up and in.
Spencer Pilgrim on that putback shot.
And Mason Yarrington for 3 missed, rebounded by Bo Harmer. Harmer to Kloss. Back to Harmer. Harmer doubled up on it. He'll fire it off to Kloss. Back to Harmer, corner of the lane. They'll go inside to Pilgrim. And he's fouled as he tried to go up for the shot.
Owen Nichols.
That's Orion's second foul.
And I knew that was Orion. I don't know why I called him Owen. It's just shorter.
Save those syllables.
Yeah.
Spencer Pilgrim, first free throw, missed. Caught the back iron and out. So the boys will host Turtle Lake on Tuesday, January 2nd, and the Viking ladies go to St. Croix Central. Second free throw is good. Give and go to Blake Johnson. Johnson out to Nichols. To Yarrington. Back outside to Fisher. Fisher for 3. Shot doesn't go. Rebounded by Augusta's Bo Harmer. Harmer to Kloss. Kloss out to Leslin. Open on the far side. Schroeder down underneath. It goes to Spencer Pilgrim. He misses the shot, but that time Noah Schroeder didn't. And now Yarrington for 3. That one in the rim and out, and we're going to have a foul.
Looks like it's on Orion Nichols.
Yeah.
He didn't like the call.
No. That is his 3rd foul.
Second one this half.
Caught over on the far side, Kloss. Kloss to Leslin, back to Kloss. Over to Harmer, back outside to Schroeder. And he'll make another bucket. That's 11 points for him. Layup, good for Aiden Fisher, going right up the center of the lane and then into the left. Kenny Kloss caught in the corner. He'll go back out to Schroeder, and the ball gets loose, and Coach King saves it. And it went off Colfax. So the inbounds throw will come from Cashton Leslin. Fired into Bo Harmer, back to Leslin. Ball gets loose. Colfax trying to knock it away, but Schroeder comes up with it. Almost blocking that one is Johnson. Back into Harmer, and we're going to have another foul underneath.
That was going to be on Aiden Fisher. Third team foul on the Vikings, second foul on Fisher.
Fisher, 22 points so far. Spencer Pilgrim throws it in to Kenny Kloss. Kloss caught in the corner, and the pass stolen by Mason Yarrington, and he's fouled by Noah Schroeder.
First foul on Schroeder, first foul on Augusta in the second half.
Fisher will bring it out of the backcourt for the Vikings. And he'll dribble it by Yarrington and put in the layup on the right side. 59-34, Colfax leading Augusta. 15 minutes to go in the second half. And Augusta having some ball handling troubles, but it's knocked out by Ralph to Kenny Kloss. Now they'll go to the other side to Spencer Pilgrim, and he'll put it up and in on the baseline. 59-36, Colfax.
11 points for Pilgrim.
Up the key, it's Blake Johnson. Johnson into Orion Nichols. Back out to Eli Ralph. Out to Aiden Fisher. Three ball bangs around in there and comes out. Rebounded by the Beavers. Kloss out on the far side for three. It goes to Leslin. That one doesn't go. It's rebounded by Fisher. Fisher up the floor. It goes to Nichols. Nichols called for traveling. 14-11 remains in the second half. Colfax 59, Augusta 36. Inbounds throw goes to Kenny Kloss from Cashton Leslin. He gets it back.
Schwartz and Hovde into the lineup for the Vikings.
Lee now up the floor to Harmer, and the pass knocked away and out of bounds. Off of Colfax's Eli Ralph, so Augusta will keep it underneath their basket.
Good hustle that time by Ralph to get back and break the play up.
Shot up on the right baseline doesn't go. Augusta maintains the rebound, and that shot short by Harmer. It goes out of bounds off Owen Lee. Colfax will bring it back. Vikings to bring it up the floor. A little calmer pace than in the first half. Fisher dribbles around a screen by Schwartz, and the ball went out of bounds off Fisher. Augusta's going to get it back.
Looked like he might have dribbled it off his leg, and
yep,
out the door it went.
Back and forth between Kloss and Lee. Over on the far side to Brian Butke, now back in the ball game. Butke dishes it back to Lee. Over on the far side to Schroeder. Three-pointer missed. And lots of people in for the rebound. Ball got loose. Coming out with it, Theo Hovde. Hovde up the floor to Eli Ralph. Ralph misses a layup, but on the rebound, Logan Schwartz. And I think we're going to have an Augusta foul on that. It's going to be charged to Bo Harmer. That is his third.
Second team foul on Augusta this half.
Blake Johnson into Eli Ralph. Ralph going up, and he's fouled on the way out.
Now that's a prime example of when you're in traffic, go to the hole. You're probably going to draw a foul if you don't get a basket.
Johnson alley-oops it into Schwartz. And we're going to have another foul by Noah Schroeder. And he quickly picks up his third foul. Didn't even get the other one off the scoreboard. Blake Johnson's going to throw it in right side of the Colfax basket. Finds Aiden Fisher, and he'll put it right up on the left side for a layup for two. 13 minutes left in the ball game, 61-36. Colfax out in front of Augusta. Driving, it's Kenny Kloss. He'll give it back to Brian Butke. Back up to Bo Harmer. He tries to give it to somebody. He's going to end up giving it to Butke. Butke in the corner of the lane ends up falling backwards, passing it to Kloss. Kloss is going to drive in on the left side, and he's fouled on the way in by Blake Johnson. And that's going to send Kenny Kloss to the free throw line.
That's the second foul on Johnson. Fourth on the Vikings.
First free throw, up and in. Colfax with a 24-point lead. Second free throw goes in. Now 23, 61-38. Colfax leading Augusta. Theo Hovde, quick pass out to Ralph. Ralph dishes it to Fisher. Fisher on the baseline, doubled up, pulls out of there, missed, rolled out, rebounded by Hovde. Hovde out to Schwartz, his shot blocked, but Blake Johnson there to pick up the rebound. Johnson drives the right side of the lane. He goes up, rolls off, no good. Reload by Eli Ralph, that doesn't go. And I think Eli's going to end up with a foul over the top of somebody's shoulder. And that's his third.
That'll be the fifth foul on the Vikings this half.
Next jump ball possession goes to Augusta. Inbounds throw goes to Schroeder. Back to Lee. To Butke. Butke, ball handling trouble, manages to come up with it, fires it up from the lane. No shot. And that foul is going to be charged to Theo Hovde. That's his second. Spencer Pilgrim's going to throw it inbounds for the Beavers. Over to Harmer. Harmer goes up, pops it up from the lane. 5-footer's good. 61-40. Colfax leads Augusta by 21. Out to Orion Nichols, top of the key, missed. Two Augusta guys come down with it. Harmer hangs on to it. Owen Lee called for the travel. Ran into a wall by the name of Orion Nichols in the lane there. Blake Johnson to throw it in for Colfax. 11:22 remaining, second half. Colfax 61, Augusta 40. Next Colfax foul is going to send Augusta to the bonus, I believe. And that free throw missed, or that three-point shot missed. And Augusta comes up the floor with it. It's Schroeder, and he ends up throwing it away. So we'll go right back to the Vikings. So Colfax will try it again. It's Aiden Fisher. Fisher driving the right side of the lane. And we're going to have another foul on Noah Schroeder. He is now in foul trouble. That's his fourth.
That's number 4, yep. 15 foul on the Beavers.
Nichols to throw it in for the Vikings. Bounces it into Johnson. Johnson up from the lane. 6-footer falls short. Gets his own rebound. Back up. That one doesn't go. Rebounded by Nichols. Outside to Yarrington for 3. That one doesn't make it either. And Cashton Lesland comes up with a basket. Owen Lee into Butke. Butke on the give and go. Cashton Leslin forgot to dribble. 10:26 remaining, second half. Colfax by 21. It's 61-40.
Vikings a little bit cold in this half, though. They've only scored 6 points. And those were all by Aiden Fisher.
Fisher has the ball now. He'll dump it off down underneath left side. Good layup for Ryan Nichols. Goes to Harmer, down on the baseline, out to Kenny Kloss. He tries to shot. Harmer back up and in on the reload. Fisher, crossing the timeline, fires it out to Hubby. Hubby, free throw line extended right, drives in toward the lane, back out to Fisher. Fisher from 15, it's good. 60.
That's 28 points for Aiden Fisher.
Ooh. And we're going to have a blocking foul on the way in by
Ethan Lalonde.
Colfax's.
No, that's not right. They haven't put it up yet.
Yeah, they put it up for Aiden Fisher.
Well, okay.
First free throw up and in.
I had the right number, I just had the wrong team.
Yeah. Small details.
Our Viking profile player, Trey Larson, is into the lineup for the Vikings.
And second of the 1+1 is good. So Theo Hubby will bring it up the floor, nice and easy for the Vikings. Out to Trey Larson, and he's called for a travel. So Augusta will have it back. Cashton Leslin throws it inbounds to Bryce Butke.
Trey Larson put on quite a three-point shooting display in the junior varsity game, and junior varsity won that game 67-40.
Ball gets loose from Leslin. Picking it up is Hubby. Hubby tries to feed it into Eli Ralph, and he got a little push. Let's see, that foul's going to be called on Bryce Butke. That's his first.
That's the sixth foul. So both teams will be in the bonus.
Inbounds throw goes to Larson, Trey Larson puts up the three ball, and it's 68-44 Vikings.
That's what he was doing in that junior varsity games, just hitting nothing but the twine.
Ball gets loose, coming up with it is Hubby. Hubby open to the basket, makes a layup. 70-44 Vikings, 8:40 remaining in the second half, and Augusta wants a timeout. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining?
Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Be sure to make your plans to tune in to either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV for our Christmas gift to you 2023. Christmas Eve, 7 p.m., the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio. No shot, and there couldn't have been a basket because it got lodged in there.
And we did have a foul on Eli Ralph. That's his fourth.
Yeah, so he's in foul trouble now, too. Kenny Kloss misses the free throw. Ralph comes up with the rebound, and he'll get it to Hovde. Hovde up the floor to Nichols. Nichols around the arch, then to the free throw line. Fires it outside to Trey Larson. Larson goes up from the lane. That shot doesn't go. Trying to get the rebound.
They're going to get Logan Schwartz over the top. Should be his second.
Yep, scoreboard confirms that. 8:13 remaining in the second half. Colfax with a 26-point lead, 70-44 over the Augusta Beavers.
That's the 9th foul on the Vikings.
Harmer misses, and it's rebounded by Ralph. Got that one that time. Ralph to Hovde. Hovde in front of the Colfax bench, moves toward the center circle and gets his defender by him, fires it out to Larson. Larson outside to Orion Nichols. Nichols around the screen from Schwartz. Back out on top to Hovde. Hovde down underneath. Schwartz. Short jumper left side is good. 72-44 Vikings, 7.5 minutes remaining. Ashton Lesland trying to back off Trey Larson there. Driving in, it's Lesland.
I think Eli Ralph is done for the night. Yes, he is.
Yep. First free throw's good. And Eli Ralph fouls out.
5 points.
5 points, yep. Ashton Lesland with the second. That free throw doesn't go either. Mason Yarrington trying to get the rebound. Kenny Kloss steals it away. Lee with the ball gets out to Harmer. Harmer tripled up on, has to get rid of it, trying to get it down underneath to Schroeder. And from the corner, Kenny Kloss nails a three-pointer. Vikings driving up the floor, Aiden Fisher. Blake Johnson driving in, loses the ball, gets it out in the corner to Aiden Fisher. Fisher misses. Now the loose ball is going to go out of bounds off the Vikings, and Augusta will get it back. 6:43 left in the ball game. Colfax 72, Augusta 48. Augusta, it's Schroeder. Schroeder going up and is fouled on the way up by Logan Schwartz.
Yeah, not much doubt about that one.
No. And the first free throw by Schroeder is good. $12 points so far for Noah Schroeder. Second one doesn't go, rebounded by Blake Johnson. Johnson bringing it up the floor, out to Yarrington. Fires the pass through his hands. Augusta getting it back, Noah Schroeder. Schroeder to Lesland. Pleasant fires out to Harmer. Driving in is Schroeder, having ball handling trouble. Now Colfax having similar trouble, but picking it up, Fisher. And three-point shot drained by Blake Johnson. He just aimed and fired on that one. Going up, in for that shot, Noah Schroeder. He's going to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, the operative word on that Blake Johnson three is he aimed and then fired. And when you take aim on those threes, good things happen.
Schroeder, first one, good. 75-50, a 25-point Viking lead. We're just under 6 minutes to go in tonight's game. And the second one goes in as well. Vikings to bring it up the floor. Theo Hubdy fires it out to Fisher. Fisher drives in, tries to go up, and we're going to have a jump ball. That's going back to Augusta. And the Beavers bring it up the floor. Trey Larson and, Owen Lee and Cashton Leslin. Leslin to Schroeder. Out to Butke. Dishes it off in the corner to Lee. Lee, pass deflected, but it gets to Leslin. He'll let it go from 15, and that shot missed. Rebounded by Logan Schwartz. Schwartz to Yarrington. Yarrington then back out to Schwartz. Coming up the floor, puts in the layup. 6 points for Logan Schwartz. Augusta. Butke fires it off to Lee. They left him open for three, missed. It's rebounded by Blake Johnson. And he gets it up the floor to Orion Nichols, putting in the layup on the left side. 79-51 Colfax leading Augusta, 4:40 left in tonight's game. Pass goes into Spencer Pilgrim in the lane, then outside to Schroeder, and he'll put it up and in, bouncing around a little bit, bounces high and goes through. Yarrington right down underneath to an open Logan Schwartz. Another right side layup. 81-53, Colfax out in front of Augusta. And what a shot block. Noah Schroeder was going to go up for a layup on the right side, and Logan Schwartz hammered it to the mat. And now we have a host of substitutions here.
Basically, it's a hockey line change for the Vikings.
Yeah.
A lot of names you don't get to call real often here, Jay.
Driving in for Augusta, Bryce Harmer. And
Grant Palowitz on that rebound.
Trey Larson out to Charlie Charbonneau. To Hunter Roberts. And top of the key for Trey, bounces out. Rebounded by Charbonneau. And ball goes out of bounds off Augusta. 3:52 remaining. Second half. 81-53 Colfax. Tossed in to Trey Larson. Larson to Palowitz. Grant Palowitz into the games. 5'9" sophomore guard. Out to Hunter Roberts, 6'2" junior. Free throw line right. Charlie Charbonneau. Down underneath, they're trying to go to Nate Edwards, and he's called for the travel. Edwards is a 5'11" junior guard. Three and a half minutes left to go in the ball game. Driving in Kenny Kloss. Kloss out to Butke. Around the rim and out. No good. Nate Edwards with the rebound for the Vikings. Trey Larson across the timeline. Larson to Hunter Roberts. And stolen away by Augusta. Kenny Kloss going up for a layup on the right side. He's fouled on the way in by Nate Edwards.
That's first foul on Edwards.
On the free throw line, Kenny Claus, miss. 3:08 left, second half. Colfax Vikings 81, Augusta Beavers 53. Kenny Claus, second one missed, ball's going out, and they're going to say that it was out of bounds off Augusta. Vikings will bring it up the floor. Grant Palowitz, give and go out to Trey Larson, who did a little dance.
Yes, a little foot shuffle there before he released the shot.
Down under 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Colfax with a 28-point lead. Noah Schroeder across the timeline. Fires it out to Schroeder. Dimitri Schroeder. Gotta start using first names here. Noah Schroeder from the corner. Missed. It's rebounded by Palowitz. He tried to get it up the floor to Larson. It's stolen away by Owen Lee. Lee fires it off into the corner to Matt Hoff. Having to go back to get it is Butke. Butke being guarded by Charbonneau. Out to Noah Schroeder. Driving in to Dimitri Schroeder. Back out to Noah. Noah lost it on the dribble, and it's picked up by Charbonneau. And Charbonneau's fouled, so he's going to go to the free throw line for 1-1.
That should be the second foul on Butke.
It is. 2:05 remaining. Be sure to make your plans to tune in to either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV for our Christmas gift to you 2023. We'll bring you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's Christmas Eve beginning at 7 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Free throw missed. Colfax got the rebound.
Controlled by Hunter Roberts, and then he took an extra step with it.
Bryce Butke. Butke out to Lee. Lee going in, bounces it to Parker Brost. He misses the shot. He's going to go up, and he draws a foul, and Parker's fan club is sitting right over there near the Augusta bench. They cheered loudly when he was fouled.
Foul was on Nate Edwards.
And free throw missed. And I'm guessing they'll become animated should he make this one. Yeah, there you go. That one even bounced around a little bit. Trey Larson up the floor for the Vikings to Hunter Roberts. Back out to Larson. Outside the arch, Charlie Charbonneau, three-pointer. Colfax with a 30-point lead in a minute 22 left to go in the ball game. Butke at the free throw line. Now to Dimitri Schroeder. Dimitri Schroeder to Lee. Lee up. Shot bounces around, rebounded by Hunter Roberts. And they slam the ball away from him, Owen Lee. And now the ball's going to go out of bounds off Colfax. So Augusta's going to keep it on their end with exactly a minute to go in the game. And Colfax having a 30-point lead. Bryce Butke trying to get it into Owen Lee, who was surrounded by taller Vikings. Inbounds, it goes to Dimitri Schroeder. Schroeder trying to get it into Parker Brost, and it went out of bounds off of him. So the Vikings get it back, 49 seconds to go in the ball game and a 30-point lead. Up the floor it goes to Grant Palowitz. Charbonneau, free throw line left. Charbonneau trying to get it in to Nate Edwards. Owen Lee bringing it up the floor now. We're going to have a foul called on Charlie Charbonneau.
Yeah, he was kind of hip checking Lee all the way down the floor. There's only so much of that they're going to let you get away with.
First free throw for Owen Lee, up, in. 32.7 seconds remain, second half, 84-55. Colfax with a 29-point lead over Augusta. Second one goes in as well. Lead cut to 28. Vikings bring it up the floor. Palowitz fires off to Trey Larson. Larson to Edwards, out to Charbonneau. And Charbonneau going in for a shot, draws a foul with 21.1 seconds left in the ball game. So Charlie Charbonneau, a 5'8" sophomore guard.
Foul was on Matt Hoff.
First free throw, doesn't make it. Second one does, 85-56 Colfax. 20 seconds remaining in the game. Butke down on the baseline, out to Owen Lee. Lee out to Matt Hoff. Hoff, free throw line shot, missed, rebounded by Charlie Charbonneau. Up the floor goes to Hunter Roberts. And they're called for a travel. 4.6 seconds left. Augusta's going to let it roll a little bit. Picked up by Butke. And Butke fouled by Hunter Roberts, but it was at the buzzer. So our final tonight, the Colfax Vikings 85, the Augusta Beavers 56. And we invite you now to stay tuned for Viking postgame as you're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
If you have a high deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in part or in whole in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame with a look back at today's game.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Welcome back to Viking Postgame. Mark Knoll, head coach of the Colfax Vikings, with us now. And Mark, congratulations on a lot of good stuff that happened Tuesday night.
Yes, I mean, the kids are starting to figure things out. I think, in that first half, I would say we had an assist on probably 90% of our baskets. So that's why I explained to them at halftime. So when you're sharing the ball like that, you're moving without the ball, good things are going to happen. And then I thought defensively, right, we did a lot of great things.
Yeah, it was a really, balanced effort. And one thing that was many that were impressive in the first half was how you got in and stayed on the boards.
And I thought we rebounded, really strong today, and that's something that we've been trying to improve, right, is win the rebounding battle is what we talk about. I think we did that today. I think we also maybe won the assist battle, had more assists than our opponent had, obviously, as well. So it's something that we're focusing on. And then I just love the energy that they played with. This is kind of a tough game because you had no school today. So the kids, you don't know if they were asleep until noon or 1 o'clock. You don't know if they're on Instagram until 1 a.m. So I'm happy that we were able to go to bed, wake up, play a good game today, and not come in here like we're zombies.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The other thing that I saw is even though you were a player shy today, the rest of the team absolutely lineup compared to last Tuesday, and the rest of the team just picked it up. And
that's what I'm saying. Like we talked about that before the game, right? It's an opportunity for other people to step up, and we showed that we have other people that can step up when given the opportunity.
And you had a chance to play quite a few minutes with younger players.
Yeah,
too.
And that's nice for them to get those kind of quality minutes. You saw Charlie Charbonneau make his first varsity three, and Trey Larson made his first varsity three. So that was fun for those guys to get those chances and get those opportunities, and I'm happy for them as well because, they're part of the future.
We were talking before the varsity game started, watching the junior varsity game, and we were watching Trey Larson just light it up from the corner in that junior varsity game. And I turned over to Ann and said to her, one of these days he's going to light it up in a varsity game, and he showed signs of that tonight.
Yeah, I love his confidence, right? And confidence is it's also a self-made thing. You gain confidence by the work that you put in. Trey puts in a lot of work in basketball, and that's why he's confident.
So, Mark, Christmas holiday break here now. What do you have going for that? Back at it on the day after New Year.
Yeah, we will have off now until the 27th. We'll come back and practice the 27th, 28th, 29th in the morning. We'll have 3 solid days. We'll take 2 days off, come back on the 1st, and play on the 2nd. So that's kind of our plan. I got to take some time off, because I got to dress up as Santa Claus now and get some presents out to everybody.
You got to work on that beard.
I know, it's just start. I just had to cut it back, and I got to get it back now.
Well, Mark, have you and the team and your family have a wonderful Christmas and New Year, and we look forward to picking this up again on the second.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys again, like always. Everybody that's back at home, thank you for watching and supporting Northern Light. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year.
Okay. Mark Knoll, head coach of the Colfax Viking Boys. And we will be back to take a look at the final numbers and wrap it up here from Colfax. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 are excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School Boys Basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Tuesday, January 2nd, when the Vikings will host the Turtle Lake Lakers. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking Pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 on Tuesday, January 2nd.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV is excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season. Our next game will be on Tuesday, January 2nd, when the Vikings will travel to St. Croix Central High School to take on the St. Croix Central Panthers. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking Pregame at 6:30 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 on Tuesday, January 2nd.
Hi, I'm Crystal, one of Santa's elves. Santa wanted to talk with you about a special program coming up on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. But as you can see, he's pretty busy right now, so we better not disturb him. So I'll tell you what's up. A little earlier, Santa and I got together and picked out some of the very best holiday-themed old-time radio programs, and we're going to present them to you during Santa's flight on Christmas Eve. So tune in to the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV while Santa and I bring you the best in old-time radio. It all starts at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I'll see you then.
Welcome back to Viking Postgame, and Rick, let's take a look at the numbers.
Okay, well, here we go. We take a look, first of all, at the Augusta Beavers. They were led in scoring tonight by Noah Schrader, who hit 9 second-half points for a total of 16. He was followed by Bo Harmer, who put up 10 points. Well, I missed one there. Spencer Pilgrim put up 11. And then Kenny Kloss had 9. Owen Lee had a couple of points. Cashton Leslin had 3 points. And Bryce Butke had 4. And Parker Brose set the cloud afire with his free throw for 1 point. For the Vikings, they were led tonight by an outstanding performance by Aiden Fisher. 20 points in the first half, 8 more in the second half for 18 points. Also, Orion Nichols had 14 in the first half, 4 more in the second half for 18 points. They were followed by Blake Johnson with 8, Logan Swartz with 6, Eli Ralph with 5, Mason Yarrington had 6, Charlie Charbonneau picked up 4 points, 3-pointer, and he went 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Trey Larson hit a 3-pointer for 3, and Theo Hovde had a 3-pointer in the first half, a field goal in the second half for 5 points, and it all comes out to the Vikings 85 and the Augusta Beavers 56.
And it was good that almost everybody that had a chance to play tonight got in the scoreboard.
Put people, Vikings put a lot on the board tonight. 9 players helped contribute to that 85-point total.
So, holiday week now for both teams before they go back into action on Tuesday, the 2nd of January. The girls are going to be on the road to Hammond, take on the St. Croix Central Panthers. And the Viking pregame will begin at 6:30, followed by all the live play-by-play action. And the boys the same night will be back here in Colfax. They're hosting the Turtle Lake Lakers
6:40 Viking pregame. Live play-by-play to follow on that. And, of course, don't forget our Christmas gift to you 2023. That's coming up Sunday night. We'll bring you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
Just the thing to be listening to as you're waiting for that jolly old elf to come climbing down your chimney and reward you with, well, in my case, all the coal that I'm going to need to heat the house for the winter.
Yeah, that's probably be piled up for me, too. He makes 2 stops, gets it all done.
There you go. Well, Jay, I know it's been a crazy day for you running all over the place, but I hope that you and everybody involved with you has a wonderful Christmas, and we'll be back at this on the 2nd of January.
Sounds good, and the same wishes for you and yours, Rick. And it's been fun to follow the Colfax Vikings here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
All right, and with that, everyone out there, have a very Merry Christmas.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.